Yes, I got started my journey of getting started to being a life coach. I started off as a high school teacher and working with teenagers. You get to see so many gaps, so many things that's happening in their lives. Um, and then I started a youth program, a youth mentoring program. But with that youth mentoring program, I then began to identify the parents, the adults are struggling in some areas as well. They're trying their best, of course, but there's no guidelines to parenting, to being an adult. And that's when I started Better Youth Solutions, because Better Youth Solutions can help those young adults or those adults and older adults as well. And with that being said, just giving them those techniques that we just spoke about, just help guiding and leading them in the right direction or giving them that extra support. And that's how I got started with being a life coach in general. And I am a social worker at heart. I've been a social worker for over 7 years now. So it's installed in me.
Speaking about teenagers, that's an age where there's so much there can be so much conflict and uncertainty about who you are and where you're going in life. And maybe you have advice for some teenagers who are listening about how to be more kind and how to find themselves.
For sure. When it comes to teenagers, I will always say be patient with yourself. As teenagers, I can't wait till I grow up and be on my own. Or teenagers, they think they know everything, but not quite yet. I would say slow down and be patient with yourself. Take time to know yourself so that you can identify what am I good at, what do I need to work on, what direction should I go? Should I go to college or should I start a career? Because college may not be for you, may not be for everyone. Don't follow the crowd or do what mommy or daddy says if that doesn't pertain to what you want to do. And that's where with teenagers identifying who they are and what they want to do for self, um, it really makes a difference. Because instead of going to college for 4 or 8 years being in debt, when in reality, an individual could have started a career in maybe working hands-on contracting or CDL license, whatever they may have been their passion or their route, instead of wasting time in college and having loans and parents having to help out. It can save time versus someone may go to school for CDLs and that's not something they wanted to do. It's just in the family business, and college may be for them, you know? So that's why I say take their time with themselves and be patient with themselves to identify who they are and their goals.
Do you have maybe more advice on this kind of thinking for teenagers? If maybe they can't afford a life coach, maybe they're not at that point in their life where they're earning money and they can pay for a coach. Do you know of any like resources for
Yes.
kids that would help them, or younger people that would help them with this process?
Yes, there are plenty of programs throughout the United States where they're helping teenagers for free. For one, Boys and Girls Club. Everyone knows about Boys and Girls Club. They help teenagers at least to the age of 18. There's a lot of programs out there. If there's a teenager who may can't afford a life coach, or a parent can't afford a life coach for the teenager, there are other programs out there. Still can connect with me for me to provide those resources to you or the teen or parent if they have any questions. I'm always here for resources as well. For instance, if anyone ever came to me and I may not be a good fit for them, that's perfectly fine, because I will help find a resource for who can be a good fit for you.
I want to talk a bit about forgiveness too, because I know, like, I guess I'll stay on the topic of being a teenager, being a young person. There's you get really angry at the world, and sometimes even as an adult, a lot of adults I see these days are angry at the world. So how important is forgiveness, and how does that help with self care?
Forgiveness is a big part of growth. The reason I say that, let's use an example. We're mad at a family member. Family member did something simple, but it upset us to the point we don't want to talk to them, that we don't want to deal with them. We we just do not like this family member. We have anger built up inside of us for years. We went years without talking to this family member. And at the end of the day, you're not growing as a person because you have so much anger in you. You're walking around being negative. You have negative thoughts, not only with that person, but with yourself. Because you're not smiling now. You're not happy. You're angry. So are you hurting that person? That person's still living their life. That person's still going on about their day. You're hurting yourself. You're still hurting. You're still mad. You're still angry. It's built up anger. And that's the reason you want to try to forgive that person. And forgiving that person doesn't help that person. Forgiving them helps you because it helps you release something. It helps you release that anger. It helps you express yourself more. And when you release and express yourself more, you're no longer angry. You can then move along better in life. It helps. It releases a chemical in your brain when you're not so angry all the time. It's healthy to smile for one. That's a little tip. It's healthy to smile. So if you're frowning all the time, that's the opposite of smiling, right? So it's not healthy to be angry, and that's the importance of forgiving, because you're not forgiving for that person, you're forgiving for yourself.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. The act of forgiving is it's nice for the other person if it's genuine, but really it's for you first. If you can like make your mind happier, that's a winning situation.
Yes.
So how do you forgive somebody? Because that can be a really hard thing to do if you're holding up anger, especially for a long period of time. Like, do you have any ideas about how
Yes.
somebody can start learning to forgive?
Once again, be patient with yourself. Because if that person you're trying to forgive has hurt you deeply, it will not happen over time. It will happen over time. It will not happen overnight. So you have to pace yourself. Don't just jump into it, because if so, the forgiveness wouldn't be genuine. It'll just be words, and you'll still be angry. But to genuinely forgive someone, you want to dissect, how did they hurt you? How much pain are you feeling? Where is that pain coming from? Because now you have to deal with that yourself internally. And then you may want to ease into it. If it's hard to communicate with that person, have a conversation face to face, maybe write a letter. You can write it down. And writing it down helps express more emotions and feelings that you may not have even realized that you had built up inside of you. And you give it to that person. And sometimes we have anger towards people who are no longer living. So you can't talk to them in person, but you still can write that letter. Writing that letter still help release those emotions, that anger, and just releasing all of that is helping you release. It's still not helping another person. It's still helping you, even though you're writing it down, whether that person is living or not. And if the person is living and you want to give it to them and they read it, and then they actually accept your apology or your forgiveness, you can move on to a better place. Maybe you want to be friends with that person. Maybe you want to reconnect, or maybe you're just forgiving them and you just move on with your life and they move on with their life. But that's the start of it. And you just work on that every day, or however often, whenever you feel yourself maybe slipping back. Because sometimes you say, yeah, I forgive you. And then you kind of like remember why you were angry the first time. So you go back. You take a step back. Let me write a letter again. Why am I angry again? What came up? Maybe I missed something in the first letter. So take your time with yourself. That's why I say, and if you find yourself to still be angry, Go back. Maybe you missed something. Maybe it was deeper than what you thought. And you find the root of the problem so that you can heal yourself. And that'll help solution. It should help bring a solution.
I think that makes a lot of sense, and especially for somebody who's passed on, if you're not able to solve that issue face to face, then having a letter or something expressing that, I think, is a great idea. You mentioned something earlier about smiling and how smiling is a great practice when you can. Um, I think that's also a really good perspective in body language and um, how we can sit up straight. Or do you have any more thoughts on like the body? Because I'm coming from a place of meditation, and meditation is really focused on the feelings of the body and how we hold our body. Do you have any thoughts about the body and how that relates to happiness?
Yes, yes. I always encourage individuals when they're there in that space to exercise, whether they're going walking or it's yoga or they're in the gym. Exercising helps release toxins, those toxins in your body. You want to release those toxins, those chemicals. And with exercising, it does help relax the muscles. It lessens tension. And exercising does decrease stress along with meditation. It helps decrease those stress. And a part of the coaching that I do offer as well is recognizing the stress in our body. Because some of us we stress right in our shoulder area, like right in the collarbone. Some of us may stress, we have headaches. You have to identify, your body talks to it. Your body talks to you, it speaks. But you have to listen, you have to recognize and know what you're looking for, right? So once you identify your stress factors, what pinpoints your body demonstrates to let you know you're overstressed or you're overwhelmed, you're overthinking, to include that meditation, to include that yoga or exercise to release those toxins. Um, so that's one exercise or technique that I would like to promote.
Maybe to bring it back to kindness, how how can we be kinder to ourselves, and why is it important? I know you said a lot about exercising in the body and journaling. Do you have any other tips or ideas about how we can learn to be kinder to ourselves?
Yeah, I always say start your day off with an affirmation. If you don't believe in affirmation, you prefer prayer, start off with a prayer, either or. But you want to start your day off with speaking positive things into your life or positive things to yourself. Today is not the day. I'm dropping my phone. I don't know what's going on with my podcast. I'm gonna let y'all see all my little bloopers because this is me. This is me. A last minute podcast, so don't judge. That was weird.
All good, all good. I was kind of feeling like we were getting close to the end of the interview anyway, but so maybe before I record again, is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we haven't talked about yet?
No, I actually love the conversation. It's crazy you brought up those topics because I'm actually going to start having an event for how to forgive. So yeah, I think this podcast is meant to be.
Wonderful. Okay, cool. So I'll just record a little bit as kind of an outro, and I'll ask you about kindness, more thoughts on kindness, and maybe also you can mention the forgiveness workshop that you're training about.
Okay.
So maybe before we go, you can share some more tips on kindness and how to be kind to yourself.
Yes, you can be kind to yourself just by speaking those positive words, inspirational words to yourself daily in the morning. Start your morning off on a good note. Hey, I look beautiful today. Today's going to be a good day. Start it off with speaking positive thoughts to yourself, positive words to yourself. And the reason I say to start off that way and promote it that way is because there's always someone or something negative around us. Something negative, someone saying something negative. You see it on the news, you read about it, it's on social media, maybe co-workers, friends, something negative. So let's be positive. Why not be positive to ourselves? Because there's enough negativity going on already. We don't need to add to it to beat ourselves up. Don't beat yourself up. Be positive to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be loving to yourself. If no one loves on you, love on yourself and be kind to yourself.
And I know you're thinking about some forgiveness.
Yes, in 2023, I will have a workshop on how to forgive. What does forgiveness looks like? I did touch base on it a little bit during this conversation, but in this event, it will be virtual. And I plan to have it around February, mid-February. How to forgive. What does forgiveness look like? It will be virtual. I will post it on my website, Instagram, and Facebook, which is betteryouSolutions.org. And we'll dive deep into forgiveness. It is a touchy topic, but it's an important topic. It will be an intimate setting, so it will be a small group. That way we can really dive deep and it can be a safe place. No worries. Thank you for having me. No, thank you for having me. Like I said, I enjoyed the conversation. I think it was meant to be. The conversation was great.
So a little bit of technical stuff about the show. I'm kind of backed up in terms of I have like other recordings, other interviews that I have to put up. So ours might actually not come out until about February. Hopefully, I can get this one live before your event or like right around the time of your event.
Okay.
I'll do my best, but it'll be a few months before it's out.
No worries. That's fine with me. It sounds perfect.
Also for the YouTube, I need like a photo for the YouTube thumbnail. Can I grab one from your website, or do you want to send
Feel free. Feel free. You can grab one from my website or Instagram. You're good to go.
And the last thing is that usually I take the conversation and I try to put it as far as I can. So clips on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Promote away. Do your thing. I am not picky.
Thanks again. And yeah, I'll be in touch.
All right. Thanks for having me again. Bye. All right, y'all. So I done did another podcast, another live interview. I did let you guys see all the mistakes, the bloopers, the behind the scenes, just in case anyone out there was like, what does that look like being on the podcast? How does that go? As you saw, you just have a normal conversation with another person. Be kind, be courteous, and be yourself. That's one thing I always promote. I am myself 24/7. What you see is what you see. Don't switch it up for nobody. Be yourself. And like the better you, be a better you. Because I'm definitely going to be a better me. I'm going to grow and glow. And I want y'all to grow and glow with me. So y'all continue to tap in. Don't forget to subscribe down at the bottom subscribe on betteryouthsolutions.org. Tap in, y'all. Tap in because I'm going to go places and I want y'all to go with me. You know? See you next time.